The Reed team is here, and today it is Andy Reed flying solo. Good to see you.
Good to see you.
So, as we've talked so frequently on this show, you know, the two of us, is how crazy this market has been for such a sustained period of time.
Right.
What are you thinking about? How is that going to continue? Is it going to slow down? When might it slow down?
So, yeah, I do get that question a lot. I personally ask myself that question all the time. And I usually come back with, you know, I tell people, look, I can tread water, but I can't walk on it. So, you know, I don't know. I don't know the future, obviously. It is, this has been one of those times that I've done this a long time, and I've not seen a market quite as extensive as this, where the sales are happening like they have been over the last 18 months or so. But, you know, I would love to know the answer to that question. It just doesn't seem to be, you know, I think there are certain times of the year, typically, let's say, you know, usually the spring and the fall have always been really solid.
Right.
Usually in the summer it may taper off because a lot of people are here vacationing and may not be into looking at real estate. And in the holiday season, it kind of can get a little quiet. But, you know, but lately, I mean, it's just been very, very busy, even in those times. Yeah. So only time will tell. Don't know. I wish I did. Yeah. But obviously, people would love to know the answer to that.
Sure. Well, let's talk about, you go back for a second, because you did say, obviously, there's still a lot of sales happening. So another thing we've talked about consistently is the low inventory. Right. So where are those sales coming from? So
I get that. You know, people ask me, well, gosh, you know, the inventory is so low, and it is historically low. And I actually went back, I went back close to a 20-year period, actually I think over a 20-year period. I wanted to see how much activity was happening throughout the months and the years, to see what's happened recently over the last, say, 18 months as it compares to the past. Now I know it's huge, but it's still, I just checked last month, and it was still historically a lot of sales are occurring, or things going under contract. And people will say, so people are coming to me saying, Andy, there's no inventory. How are y'all making sales? And I said, it's the weirdest thing, because yes, we have low inventory. So how can you be making a lot of sales? It doesn't add up. Well, It actually does. And here's why. Yes, the inventory is low, but the example I like to use is, and this number is purely made up. I'm just making this up. Sure. But imagine you had a low amount of homes for sale, and 150 properties come on in a week, and 150 sell, go under contract in a week. Well, that base number never changed.
Sure.
I mean, it's still that low number, but we had a ton of activity. So people are still selling. It's just, if it's priced fair, maybe if it's maybe even if it's high, it's a lot of times they're going under contract. So that's how things are still selling, even with a low inventory.
Got it.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking at the time. I was like, how much more can I tell you? I can tell you more.
We want to get to,
sure.
We do have a listing, and we do want to get to that.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
So the listing I wanted to talk about today is a house in Long Cove. It's 1 Oak Point Landing. It's a nice, it's a beautiful, stately home. The 5 bedrooms, 5.5 baths. One of the cool things about this house is it's right on the water of Broad Creek, and the views are stunning. The outdoor living is spectacular. Anybody looking to move into a home with a tremendous view, this is one to consider.
Yeah.
So,
well, and Long Cove is a great community as well.
It is. I've lived there a long time, and I love it there.
Yeah. Well, so how do they get to you if they want to see that? Because it's going to be fast.
Well, I hope. So they could just look on our website, which is explorewhhi.com, or my cell phone number, which is 843-816-4466.
Well, thank you for your insights today, Andy. It's always good to see you.
Thanks, Betsy.